Hello everyone, my name is Elin and welcome back to another episode of the Wizard of Oz world. In this series, by the way, I am making L. Frank Baum's Wizard of Oz, but in Minecraft. Well, rather, I'm making the world of Oz. In this video, I am literally just going to be making like mountains. Oh no, lag. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. Right, so this is going to be rather tricky. I don't think you'll see the lag because I'll be playing you the replay. Oh my goodness, look at all those blocks. Basically what I'm going to be doing is literally like, I just want to have a bit more of a backdrop. Because this world, when you're walking along the path, it just goes off into nothing. And I don't want it to go off into nothing. I'm using sand here so it actually falls and does create like a, there's gravity basically. Basically, it just, because it's a gravity block, it makes it fall, so I don't have to worry about, like, if I were to manually just place a bunch of spheres, I wouldn't have to actually line them up or match them up to the floor myself. I honestly, for this side, I don't think I need to go past where I have, because this is kind of good enough. Now, I do have a smoothing tool. The smoothing tool, I always find it just, it's not great because the way this has fallen now because of the gravity is actually okay. I'll smooth out little bits. The reason that I'm not gonna actually just go all the way around this is because if you play in this world, like when the world download comes out, you're not supposed to be going behind there. That's not for you to see. That's for me to know that it's there and for you to just cope with. I am going to be making some mountains here. So if I do this one first, if I just do a layer of a non-gravity block, because if I do just a straight up gravity block, it will go through the void. Exactly like that. Now please trust the process with this. Tell you what, I'm gonna do a bit of mountaining because I'm lagging so much and I actually can't cope with it. I'm gonna do a time lapse of that and I will probably do a later voiceover over it, so see you in a moment. I continued to build the mountains out of sand. I kept putting the birch spheres under them just because obviously I don't want the sand to fall into the void. I also made the mountain extend all the way to where the Munchkin Land one does, just so there isn't an awkward gap, because there's already a gap on the other side. And I thought it would look so much better if it actually connected to Munchkin Land. It also would stop people from like immediately seeing the massive gap underneath Munchkin Land. I wanted these mountains to be mountains rather than hills, because the rest of the like dome hilly things in the world, they are hills, not mountains. So I started off painting it with stone. Obviously, this is all world edit, by the way. I started painting it off with stone. I then made the paintbrush 50% stone and 50% mossy cobblestone, and I went just kind of around where I had put the stone, and then I changed it to 75% mossy cobblestone and 25% stone, just for a bit better of a gradient, and don't worry, there will be more texturing later. Then I turned the remaining sand into moss. I wasn't entirely sure if this was going to work out. I thought it was going to be too much moss, but I really like it. I did add some little extra bits of stone here and there, just to break up the moss a little bit more. Too much just kind of looks weird in my mind. And then this, it looked so plain. It looked like it had just been plonked there, which obviously it had. So I went around the base of the mountain and I added some dirt, some stone, some mossy cobblestone, I think. I think those were the 3 blocks that I used, but I used them in a splatter rather than a sphere. All the painting I had done before was the sphere in World Edit, which gives perfect edges, but I used the splatter so that it would kind of blend into the grass a little bit more. And then along the edges of that, I put a bit more mossy cobblestone just for a nicer blend, and I also put some moss around it. Just again for just added texture. It's a massive area. It's a massive open plain. Like, we need a bit of texturing here. I also added some like little rocks and stuff. Only 2, but I thought they looked good. I shaded the mountain using Tough and Deep Slate just to give it a bit more texture, and it just looks so much nicer. It's only a tiny amount of shading, but it makes such a difference. Then I added like a little path going from the mountain to the yellow brick road. I didn't want to open the fence. I don't want people to actually be able to traverse this, and obviously you can if you go like outside of Munchkin Land, but obviously the idea is that you just stick to the yellow brick road, and possibly the red brick road if I do decide to do anything with that. And I know in the books that there is a set place that the red brick road goes to, but in my version of Oz, it would not be that place. I would do something else with it. Now the floor looked really, really flat, so I added lots of bone meal. I added it mainly alongside the path, but obviously you can't just have like a harsh cutoff of like tall grass and stuff. So I spread it out a bit. I put it in like colonies of grass and flowers and stuff, but it looked too weird. So I changed the yellow dandelions to orange roses, which are in the pyrite mod that I'm using. I think it looks so much better. I really like the roses because obviously I have a resource pack on that makes the flowers bushier, and so the single roses just look so good, I think, and it's quite a muted orange as well. And then I didn't like the way the wheat just kind of faded off, so I added some coarse dirt and some tall grass around. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I just wanted to come in to say I have channel memberships now. Currently, I only have one tier, and that's Stars because my surname's Starkey. With that tier, it is £1.99 a month. That's £1.99 a month. I'm sure it will be converted into your currency. The perks of this channel membership tier are you get early access to literally all of my videos, unless for some reason I decide to upload one immediately rather than scheduling it, which is very, very rare that I do that. But if I don't do that, you will get early access as a member. You also will get channel badges, and so chat badges show up just in the regular comment section as well as the live comment section, and as a member you will get exclusive live streams, which I will start doing eventually. If there's a lot of interest for them, I will do them sooner, obviously. If you can't or don't want to support financially, which is obviously completely fine, then what you can do instead is like my videos, watch all the way through, subscribe, share, comment, basically anything that would just tell the algorithm that my videos are worth watching. Also, look at my cat. You should definitely become a member actually so that I can buy him treats. And then on the other side of the yellow brick road, I did all the same, just in a very slightly different order. So instead of talking you through the process again, I am going to say, fuck ICE. What happened in Minneapolis is actually disgusting. Nobody is safe. I wish people would understand this. Nobody is safe. Even if you are a bootlicker, you are not safe. You need to be ensuring the safety of your country, and to ensure the safety of your country, that does not mean you deport immigrants. And remember, ICE are targeting US citizens as well. They're targeting people who were born there. They just happen to have backgrounds that aren't white. It's racism. If you are pro-ICE, you are racist. There is literally no other way to say it. You are racist because the immigrants that you seem to care about aren't white. It's not a coincidence. So if you are in the States right now, or if you are in a country that has a similar ICE sort of agency, which don't vote reform in the UK, we will have the same. If you vote reform, the rights of women are taken away. Disabled people, queer people, people of colour, trans people. Anybody who isn't a white millionaire or billionaire will suffer at the hands of reform. Do not vote reform. But as I was saying, if you are in the States right now, you need to resist. You need to be calling out ICE. You need to be recording them. If somebody hadn't recorded the shooting and murdering of Renee Nicole Good, people would be blindly believing Trump. You would have to, because you don't know differently unless you were there, and people wouldn't believe the people who were there. Because, yeah, but ICE were there. ICE wouldn't lie, the government wouldn't lie to you. Record ICE. Even if it becomes a crime, record them. Chant shame at them. Resist them. We do not want these people killing more. They killed 32 people last year. Who knows how many more are dead at the hands of ICE? But we don't know, because the people who have been taken prisoner in essentially what is concentration camps, these people can't talk to their family. They can't talk to their friends. They can't have contact with anyone. We don't know if they're alive. We don't know what conditions they're in. This is human trafficking. This is actually human trafficking. You need to be resisting the government. You need to be resisting ICE. This is literally how the Nazis rose to power. At this stage in Nazi Germany, we would be knee-deep in war. Just because there isn't a declared World War III doesn't mean that there isn't a war on the people. You need to fight back. If you don't fight back, you are going to be next. There's a great poem, and it's essentially along the lines of, first they came for trans people, but I didn't speak up because I'm not trans. Then they came for black people, but I'm not black, so I didn't speak up. Then they came for women, but I'm not a woman, so I didn't speak up. And then they came for me, and there was nobody left to speak up for me. Do you see the problem? I know this is very ranty, but I talked about Charlie Kirk when he was murdered. There was no way that I could just not talk about Renee Nicole Good. You need to say her name. There is shame surrounding her death. She was trying to protect her neighbours. Her wife watched her be murdered for no reason. I'm not here to debate whether or not she was trying to run them over or not, because for the record, she was not. And even if she were, let's say for argument's sake, she was trying to run the ICE officers over. They are still not allowed to shoot her, but the problem is, ICE officers are not trained. They do not have a training process currently. The man who murdered her is called Jonathan Ross. We need to say his name. He's been granted immunity. We cannot let this happen. We need to do something, so speak up. And on that note, thank you very much for watching this video. I will not be debating this topic in the comments. If you would like to talk about it, that is fine, but any hateful comments or any ignorant, bigoted comments, whatever it is, they will be removed. Civil discussion only, or you will be blocked. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. If you did enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.